Noreen, and welcome to my kitchen. And another episode of the holidays are coming. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Mexican hot cocoa mix. And what Rick is showing you is one of the main ingredients. And it is Abuelita's. And I'll show you what that is. If we open up the box, this is what you would make Mexican hot chocolate from if you want to make. This is how I always remember making it when I lived in Arizona. This is like a stack of these lovely little paper covered chocolate discs, and they're like a composite. They're not all chocolate. There's chocolate and there's cinnamon. There's some nuts in here, and there's also sugar in here. You can see it's got a bumpy texture. Now, the way I always remember making it was you could heat up milk in a pot, and then you put the disc in there, and then you just waited for it to melt. Or you used to be able to, the way I remember my friend's mom making it was she would break up this chocolate disc and put it in her blender, and then she would put the warm milk in the blender, and then she would pulverize it that way. And then she always added honey, and she always added extra cinnamon, and a little pinch of cayenne pepper to the blender. And that's when I was in high school, so I had already a taste for those more sophisticated flavors. Maybe not sophisticated is the word, but you know what I'm saying. So I thought it might be fun to come up with a really nice mix that you can give as a gift or keep for yourself. And for the most part, it's really simple, and I'm pretty sure aside from the Abuelita's chocolate, if you wanted to use chocolate chips, grind them up, I guess you could do that. That's not a problem. This, I think, actually does have some almonds in it. I'm looking. It has peanuts. And then, again, I think that the more traditional, this particular brand may not have almonds in it, but I think that if you, depending on where you live or where you get your Latin foods, other brands may have almonds in them. I'm going to use some canela, which is just Mexican cinnamon. There's cinnamon from all over the world. You know, they all taste just a little bit different, and this one is Mexican canela cinnamon. But I'm going to take these. I'm just going to stick them in my coffee grinder, and I'm going to break them up, and we're going to grind some fresh cinnamon. When I found, we have at our Food Lion a really fabulous Hispanic food section, and it's wonderful. They have so many things that I used to be able to get in Arizona without thinking. And here, they're just available up the street from me. But one thing I did want to mention to you is this particular brand, or wherever you buy your Latin foods supplies, these were 59 cents. Oh, pardon me. I shook up my cayenne pepper, and now I'm sneezing my head off. But anyway, these packages of spices, they had cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, they had star anise, they had garlic powder, onion powder, thyme, everything you imagine. And these little packets are 59 cents. So if you're on a serious budget, the place to look for spices is not in the spice section of the grocery store. It's in the Latin food section of the grocery store, because you are going to find some wonderful treasures over there. And they're probably, dare I say it, a little fresher. I'm going to put this cinnamon in my coffee grinder. Grind it up. You don't have to grind your own cinnamon if you don't want to. Ooh. Spice smoke.
Cinnamon smoke.
Ooh. I'm in it. Give that a second. That's good for now. And I made a giant mess. Giant mess. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Now, the rest of this is based on the same premise as our building blocks for all of the rest of our cocoa mixes. I'm going to pull this all out of the way. The only difference this time is I am actually using Mexican sugar. And that is because I bought a bag because someone mentioned it to me, and I happened to find it at Walmart. And this is pure cane sugar, and it is not white, which means it hasn't been bleached. So when you buy like turbinado sugar, and it's going to be a little bit browner than this, or demerara sugar, this is actually, I would say, a little bit finer. It's not as fine as white granulated sugar, but it does have just an ever so slightly deeper flavor. You can really taste the molasses in it.
Yeah, the light molasses.
But it's not that pronounced that it will affect regular recipes. So what we're going to do is, because I have this is the end of my can of milk alternative, and it's just a little over a cup, we're going to go ahead and stick that in there. And what I always say, don't throw these number 10 cans away. Seriously. Now I have a can to keep my cocoa in when I'm done making it. Okay. So then, because I'm out of that one, I'm going to add 1 packet of this regular non-fat dry milk that I get, that I like to keep for recipes. So that's 1 cup. So 2 cups of dry milk, whatever is your preference. Right? 2 cups of Mexican sugar. Or sugar in general. It doesn't have to be the Mexican sugar. And the other thing about, in my opinion, Mexican hot chocolate is it is sweet. It is thick and sweet and unctuous and delicious. And let's see, cinnamon. Let's see what we got here. Probably have more than I need. So there's 1 tablespoon. Two tablespoons. We'll deal with the rest of that later. This is the equivalent of 2 discs of the Mexican chocolate out of the box. So 2 of these, okay, 2 of these discs. What's in the bowl is 2 of these discs. So in it goes. And don't store this chocolate. If you buy it, do not store it in the freezer or in the refrigerator. If you get it home and you don't use all of it, stick it in a wide mouth mason jar and just put it on your pantry shelf. This is a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You can opt to leave that out if you chose to, okay? And because I can, I'm going to add a tablespoon or so of vanilla powder. You can also leave that out. If you have vanilla beans, you can grind them up. I would say 2 fresh vanilla beans ground up is going to be perfect. We're going to add some creamer in here, a cup of creamer. We're not adding any pudding mix to this because it's not necessary. This is going to be a straight traditional hot chocolate. And then we're going to add a cup of cocoa powder. Then we're going to put the lid on it and grind it up. Mix it up. Here we go. Just let it go and mix very, very well. Cocoa smoke. You can breathe that. I don't know how much you want to, but it smells nice, doesn't it? Yeah. And I forgot to tell you, you obviously can see the chocolate that I put in there from the disc, I grated on the fine section of my box grater. That is very hard chocolate, and it's almost impossible to cut with a knife. I wouldn't recommend that you don't do that. simply because I don't want anybody hurting themselves. Because if anybody's going to hurt themselves using a knife, it will be me. I'm not kidding. So there we have it. There is some wonderful Mexican hot chocolate. It's got the warmth of cinnamon and cayenne pepper. Again, you can leave that out if you chose to. Not a big deal. It's got extra boost of flavor from the vanilla powder, lots of chocolate, cocoa, and creaminess. So I'm going to go make some hot water, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to fix a cup so that you can all see what it looks like. Okay, we're back. I've got some hot water. I cleaned up my mess. I put my cocoa mix in my number 10 can, and now we're going to make a cup. I would recommend that this cup is 12 ounces. This cup, you know, your measuring cup is 8 ounces. So most of us do not drink that little tiny cup anymore. Most of us drink a mug, and most mugs are between 12 and 16 ounces. If you have a 12-ounce mug, I would start with 1/4 of a cup. This is a 16-ounce mug. Conversely, it's much larger. It's a 1/2 cup larger. I would use a 1/2 cup of mix in this mug because I like my cocoa to taste like cocoa. I don't like it to taste like cocoa flavored water. So I would be generous. You know what? You can always make more. Let me grab a spoon, honey. And that's just my own personal preference. If you like your cocoa a little on the lighter side, then go ahead and adjust it to your own taste. But I'm going to go ahead and put the hot water in there and give it a good stir. And you can already see how lovely it is. It's nice. It's going to be nice and thick. At this point, after you've stirred it down a little, you can add a little more water because the mix has been distributed. Give it a good stir. Oh, that's nice. Taste that. That's nice. Yeah. Now keep in mind, because we put vanilla powder, we put cinnamon that we ground ourselves, we put cayenne pepper, and we put the chocolate which has a little nuts in it. So you're not going to have, you know, there's going to be a little chunkage at the bottom of your cup when you finish drinking it. That's completely normal and expected. So just enjoy it. You know, your kids aren't going to care, and I don't think you are after you taste this. So I'm going to just give it a taste. I'm not going to show you, though, because I have a head full of wet hair. Oh, I like that. That is so nice. It's not overly sweet. It's really good. It's warming. You get those warm spices. I can feel the cayenne in the back of my throat, but it's not uncomfortable or unpleasant. You want to try it? Here, I'll move my hand. It's just really delicious. And this would be lovely as a gift. Lovely served to guests who come over. You could put this out as an offering. You could make a big pot of it and just let people, like on the stove, make a pot of it and let people dip out with a ladle like they would.
Like a hot toddy.
It is kind of like a hot toddy. It's got a nice warming effect when you drink it. So this might be a really nice option to give, you know, to the adult chocolate lovers on your list. You know, maybe the kid-friendly ones are the ones that are a little on the sweeter side or on the fun side that I've made. This one is definitely more sophisticated and palate-pleasing to a more discriminating adult. So I hope that you will give this Mexican hot cocoa mix a try, and I hope you love it. Until next time, happy holidays!